It's one thing for an interior architect to be able to design beautiful spaces for their clients. But how does that interior architect go when they're designing spaces in their own new home? Well, we're about to find out just how with Georgia Ezra, who's going to show us through. Come on, let's have a look.
I'm an interior architect. I've been practicing for about 8 years now. I own an interior company called Gabay Interior Design in Melbourne, and we mainly deal in high-end residential projects. My husband Richie and I were looking to buy a property for 3 years, and we're very lucky because that journey led us to this beautiful home. It was built in 1920s, and when we laid our eyes on it, personally we did not want to buy it because it was in a very bad nick, very bad condition. But after seeing it again and thinking about it more, we realised this was perfect for us. We did so much to this house. The outcome is extremely exciting, and yeah, we couldn't be more happy with the final result.
Hi, Georgia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm terrific. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Already, I love the front of this
Thank
house,
you.
the tiles and the garden, and I can't wait to see what's inside.
I can't wait to show you.
Yay! I can't
Come
wait
on
to
in.
see it. Gorgeous. Wow, Georgia. Look at your ceiling height. This is original?
We were so lucky. This is all original.
Oh, I love the corbels too. They are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Georgia, do you know how many times I've walked into a house with a fireplace that's actually shaped like that and thought, what do you do with a fireplace that's shaped like that? You put gorgeous tiles on it. You are so clever.
Thank you.
What made you decide to not pull everything down and stick with the original footprint? Because that's what you've done. You've worked with a lot of the character of the house.
Absolutely, and I'm not going to lie, we did look at straightening up the fireplace and making it squared, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Something that was hugely important to me is never destroying the original bones of an old home. So what we wanted to do was emphasize those old bones. So when you look around the house, you're going to see exposed brick walls, and you're going to see original doors and original door handles that we've kept.
Oh my gosh, it all opens up as soon as you walk in here. Wow, there is so much to take in just in this room. Look at that wall. That's amazing.
Thank you.
This is obviously original.
Yeah, it's all original. We even kept the original concrete beam and just wanted to expose it all just because the legacy of the building.
I love it. I love it. So textural. It has all this layering and lushness, but it's also really subtle with clean lines. How do you do that?
Well, you basically have to balance it out. So yeah, there are a lot of textures going on.
Yeah.
We've referenced the old rattan that you see in, a lot of 60s and 50s homes.
Oh my gosh.
And we custom made all of our door paneling. And so when there's so much going on, you sort of got to balance it out with some clean lines and some beautiful layering of white, tones throughout the room. The one thing I'm hugely passionate about when it comes to interior design is experiential design. So I want to make people that enter the space feel something, and the way that I do that is through the materiality, through the finishes, playing with our 5 senses, and ultimately the importance that those 5 senses have on our health and our emotional status, and that's always something at the forefront of my design.
Can I just say, I love the dining space.
I love the dining space too.
This is so cozy, but it's so bright as well.
It is bright. We're very fortunate. We get the western sunlight and it just streams through. In summer, the light's low and it's just
Beautiful reading area. And you haven't actually changed the shape of the building. No. You've worked within the bones of what you originally had.
And it's such a funny space, but it just looks and works so well for us.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I actually think it works incredibly well. This is such a beautiful open space. I can't imagine it being like this when you moved in. So how do you go about making a space like this so big and beautiful?
Thank you. And it wasn't like this when we bought it. In fact, this was a tiny kitchen room, and I remember when my husband and I just stood in the space and we just were like, what did we get ourselves into? There was so much work to do. We had 2 tradesmen come and work with us because we project managed the whole thing, and they just knocked out this triple brick wall right where we're standing. And if you look over here, which is now our pantry, that used to be where the oven was. And that was a massive brick unit that they had to knock down. And it was a massive job. So we've done so much to this space.
With the first part of the house, how much work has actually gone into making it the way that it is now?
We actually highly disliked the plastering on the wall, and we wanted to make it really nice and smooth and bring it to the modern day. But if we did that with plasterboard, we would be ruining the mouldings on the ceiling. So what we did was we used plasterboard up to the art rails, and then we hard plastered above. And the reason why we did that was because hard plastering is extremely expensive. So we met in the middle. And in that way, we got to keep the plastering and the mouldings on the ceiling, and we got to fix up the walls. We also wanted to retain all the existing architraves and art rails throughout the house. But it's not so easy when they're old and you've got to really sort of work at them to bring them back to life. So the art rails were sort of in a condition that we couldn't reuse them. So we ended up matching them with new art rails and painting them, and they just looked like they were when we found the house. We're so proud with what the final result is, and it creates such an impact. Everyone that walks into this home feels something, which is exactly what I wanted.